Today's story is called The Three Green Twigs. The three green twigs. Okay, twig is, this is a tree, and this is a big branch called a bough, and then here small one, thin one. This is called a twig. Okay, so it's a religious story. It's a religious story. Okay, it's one of the Grimm brothers fairy tales. Okay, a long time ago, many years ago. Gee, I don't know how many years ago. Oh my gosh, 500 years ago. Anyway, there was a man. Now, this man, he was an old man. He was an old man, and then we don't know how old he was, but he wasn't like 65 or 75. I think he was probably much older than that. Okay? Anyway, he was an old man, and he was a religious man. Religious. I think it's religious man. Okay, so he did not want to live in the city. He wanted to live in the mountains all by himself. He lived in a small house, well, not really in the mountains, but he lived up the, okay, so here is a mountain. He lived at the foot of the mountain, okay, base. He lived at the base of the mountain. So he had a little house at the foot of the mountain, and at the base of the mountain. And he was a very religious man. Religious man means he believed in God, God in heaven, okay? So he believed in God, and he wanted to do the right thing, okay? When God says, be kind to people, he wanted to be kind to people. When God said, work hard, he wanted to work hard. And so he wanted to obey the lessons, the teaching of God. Okay, so he believed in God, and he was a religious man, and so he did not want to live in the city, and he didn't want to go to a restaurant and eat and stuff like that. He didn't want to go to a movie and things like that. He just wanted to live all by himself in solitude. Solitude means very lonely life. He wanted to live in solitude all by himself, far away from the city, and at the foot of the mountain. And he lived there, and he did good things. I don't know what else he did, but he did good things, and he prayed. He prayed to God in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, and at night. He prayed to God. He talked to God, and he passed his time very well. He spent his time very good. Okay, he was a good man, and he lived here. Okay, now we call such a person hermit. Hermit is a person who lives all by himself, away from the city, and does good things for God, and he prays to God. So now, he did many good things, but one thing that he did every day, his God's work. One of his God, he did lots of God's work, but one of the things that he did was that he went to the top of the mountain. He walked, and I don't think it was a big mountain. Okay, it's just a not very tall mountain. I don't know how tall it was, but it's not a tall mountain because he could go all the way, maybe not all the way to the top, but he could walk and walk and walk and could go close to the top of the mountain. So it was not very good, a tall mountain. Anyway, one of the things that he did every day was that in the evening, not really late at night, but in the evening, what he did was he took this is a bucket, okay, bucket. He took 2 buckets. He took 2 buckets of water. He took 2 buckets of water, and he walked and walked and walked to the mountain. He took 2 buckets of water to the top of the mountain. So how did he go? Let's see. Nah. Let's see. He was he carried 2 buckets of water all the way to the top of the mountain. And the reason why he did that was because he wanted to give water to the animals who lived in the mountains. He wanted to give them water to drink for the animals who lived in the mountains, because there was no water up in the mountains. And the animals were very afraid to come down, and so they stayed up in the mountains, but then they didn't have any water, so they always looked and looked, when it rained, maybe some rainwater was kept somewhere, but then sometimes, the wind blew very strongly, and the air was dry, and the land, the dirt became dry, and so many times the beasts, animals, and the birds were were thirsty, and so that's why he took 2 buckets of water up to the mountains, and he gave water to the plants and the birds and then the animals. The animals were happy to have him come because they could drink some water, and the birds were very happy too, and then the plants too enjoyed receiving water from the old man. God was very happy with this old man because he was a good guy. He was a good man. Okay? Yes. Now, he was a very religious man, and he was a very pious. Pious means he believed in God, and he was a faithful. He had strong faith in God, and so he was a pious man, faithful man. Anyway, when he walked up here every night, he didn't miss a day. He did this every day, or every afternoon, or every evening. When he did this, guess what? An angel, an angel. Angel is a worker for God's workers. Okay, angels are God's workers, and so one angel, he is a man. Okay, he looks like a man. One angel, showed his appearance, and the angel walked with him. They counted steps. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I don't know how many steps there were from here to up there, but they counted, and the angels went up to the mountain together with this old man. After this old man, or the hermit, I shouldn't call him old man, he was a hermit. After the hermit gave water, he gave water to the birds and animals, and then the angel brought him something to eat for the evening meal. The angel brought him some food for the hermit, because the God was happy with him, and so the angel brought him food to this old man. So he ate food in the mountains, or up there in the mountain, and he came down. He did this every day, and the angel came every day, and he was very happily, doing this chore, every day, God's work. Well, guess what? One day when he was walking, it wasn't the one day when he was walking. One day, he was at home. He was at home, okay? And he was outside his home, and far away, he saw something. Far away, he saw a gallows. Do you know what a gallows is? He saw gallows is, okay, ta 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 ta. This is gallows. This is the place where bad people, get punished, get hanged. Yeah, okay. This is called gallows. Well, this man was, just looking outside, and then he saw a man, a sinner. Sinner means a criminal. Somebody like somebody who killed somebody, or somebody who steals something. That's a sinner. Criminal. Okay? A criminal was taken to the gallows. He was taken, he was, come here, somebody was, come here. So somebody was taking him to the gallows, and he was going to be hanged, okay? Hanged. Now, this hermit saw this criminal, the sinner, was going to get hanged. And then he said, it serves him right. It serves him right. He got what he deserved. He got what he deserved. He earned his deserts. He said, of course he's going to get hanged, because he's a bad man. He sinned. He stole something. He killed somebody. So he is a bad man. Therefore, it's a good idea that he's going to get hanged. It's a fair treatment. It's a fair punishment. He said this just in one sentence, okay? He said something like, it served him right, okay? Something like that. He said that, okay? Well, that evening, after this happened, he was going up here, okay? He was going up here with 2 buckets of water, but the angel didn't come. He thought that was strange. Why isn't angel coming? He thought, why isn't angel coming? And then the angel did not bring him any food after he took the 2 buckets of water to the birds and the animals and the plants, he thought, what did I do wrong? Did I make God angry? Is God angry with me? What did I do wrong? He didn't know. He couldn't think of anything because every day he prayed and he did good things and he took the 2 buckets of water to the mountains for the birds and animals and the plants. But angel stopped coming. He was very, very worried. He was terrified. He was not only worried, he was terrified. Terrified means scared. He was horrified. He was afraid. Well, if God is angry with him, he cannot go to heaven. He cannot go to heaven to live with God after he dies. And so he was very, very worried. And now, not only he was very worried, he began to cry. He began to cry. He was very, very sad, and he began to weep. Okay? He began to weep bitterly. He didn't know why God was angry with him. He could not eat, he could not drink anymore. He neither ate nor drank. He was terrified, and he prayed to God day and night. And he said, why, God, are you angry with me? He asked God, but there was no answer. Well, one evening, he took the buckets of water to the top of the mountain, and when he came to the mountain, there were birds singing, beep, 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 beep. And then he said, oh, you are so happy. You sing so happily, but I'm not happy, he said. I wish I were happy. He said, I wish you could tell me why God is angry with me. He said, he talked to the birds. And then the birds spoke. The birds said, God is angry with you, they said. That God is angry with you because when you saw the sinner was taken to the gallows. When you saw the sinner was taken to the gallows, you said he earned the punishment. You said it served him right. You said he's a bad man. He should be hanged. You said. And then the bird said, you shouldn't say things like that. The bird said, both birds, or 2 birds, 3 birds, they said, you shouldn't say that. You should not judge. You shouldn't not judge. He is a bad man. He is a good man. She is a bad woman. She is a good woman. You should not. It's not a good idea. You judge people. The bird said, God alone. Only God can judge, not you. Because you judged other people, God is not happy with you. He didn't know what to do. He said, what can I do to repent. What can I do to change it? What can I do to make God happy with me again? He said. Then angel came out. The angel came out. Okay, angel. The angel said to the old man, he said, I will give you this dry twig. Dry twig means dead wood. Dead, the thin wood. And it's dead. It's not alive. Okay, there are no leaves, anything. I will give you this dry twig, he said. From now on, don't live in this house. You go into the city. You go into the world. And every day you go to people's houses and beg. You go to people's houses and beg. Beg means, please give me some food. Please give me some water. You ask people to give you something. The angel said to him, go to people's houses and beg for food and water. You ask them to let you stay, sleep in their house, but not 2 days, just 1 day. You cannot stay at someone's house for many days, just 1 day. And then you have to say thank you and go away. And then you go to another place and say, can I stay in your house? You have to go beg for food and beg for shelter, he said. You go all over the place and do this until this dry twig will have green leaves. Okay, green. Until this dry twig will sprout. Okay, the green leaf will come up. Okay, until sprout. Okay, he said. Then once this dry twig become alive and sprout some leaves, then you are forgiven. God will accept you again. You will become his favorite again, he said. And so he said, all right. And he took this dry twig and he left his house. Okay, so he left his house, and every day he went to people's houses and he begged for food and water, and he begged for shelter. Please let me stay in your house. Okay, so we don't know how many days or how many months or how many years he walked and asked for food and stuff like that. But anyway, oh no, I forgot to tell you. The angel said, when you go to sleep, put the twig under your head. You put the twig, under your head, and go to sleep. He said. The angel said to him. And so from then on, this hermit went to people's house, and he went to sleep, but he had the twig under his head, and he went to sleep every day. But the twig never sprouted. So he wanted the twig to sprout, but he didn't sprout, and so he walked. He went to this house, and he went to that house, and he walked and walked for many, many days. Now, one day, all day long, he went to people's houses, but nobody opened their doors. Nobody opened their door. Nobody gave him food, and nobody let him come into their house to stay. He didn't know what to do. He was lost. And so he went into a forest. He went into a forest. Okay? He went into a forest. And then he came to a cave. He came to a cave. Okay? He came to a cave. Cave, is it's sometimes like a rock, and then there is this hole, and people live inside this hole, inside this cave. Yeah. So he came to this cave, and he looked in. He looked in. He looked in, and then he saw inside there was a woman. The woman was sitting inside the cave. And so he talked to the woman, and he said, "Please," he said, "may I come in?" He said, "May I come in? I don't have a place to stay. Please let me come in," he said. "Please let me come in," he said to the old woman. The old woman said, "Oh, no," she said to the hermit. "You cannot come in." And the hermit said, "Why? I'm harmless. I'm an old man. Please let me stay." And she said, No. She said, "I will never let you come in and stay." She said, "I have 3 sons. Okay? I have 3 boys. These boys are bad people. They kill people. They steal things. They hurt people. They are bad, bad boys. They told me not to let anybody come into this cave. They said, 'Don't let anybody come into this cave.' So if," she said, "my sons find out that you are in the cave, they will kill you, and they will kill me too. So I will not let you come in," she said to the hermit. The hermit said, he said, "Do not worry. They will not kill you. They will not kill me. I am an old man. I am harmless. Please let me come in and stay. I have no place to go," he said to the old woman. The old woman was compassionate. Compassionate means she felt sorry for him. She said, "All right, then you can come in and sleep in the corner where it is not very easy to see. Sleep in the corner," she said. Okay? So the old man, or the hermit, came into the cave. They came into the cave. This is inside the cave. And then he went to sleep. Okay? He lied down. But when he lied down, he put the twig under his head. And so the old woman came, and she said, "Why did you put a twig under your head? And why are you sleeping like that? She said to him. She asked him because she thought that was kind of strange. And then he stood up. He stood up and he told her, I am sleeping with a dry twig under my head because God is angry with me. He said, God is angry with me and I will not be able to go to heaven because God is angry with me. So the woman said, what did you do? What sin? What kind of sin did you commit? What did you do to make God angry with you? So the man said, well, he said, one day, many months ago or years ago, when I was outside of my house, I saw a sinner. I saw a sinner was being taken. Somebody was taken, executioner, was taking the sinner to the gallows so that the sinner will be hanged because he was a bad man. He was a criminal, and so he was going to get hanged. And I said very carelessly, I was not thinking careless. I said carelessly, I said, it served him right. He got what he deserved. I said, I was glad. He said, I was glad that a bad man, the sinner, a criminal was going to get hanged. I was happy. So I said carelessly, it's good. He's gonna get hanged. That's good because he's a bad guy. I said. But God did not like it. God is the only person who can judge others, and I cannot say who is bad and who is good. I cannot judge, but I made a mistake. And so God is angry with me, he said to the old woman. The old woman, she was surprised. She said, what? All you did was say just one word or one sentence. All you did was say something like that, and then God is angry with you? She said, my sons, my boys, they kill people. They steal things. They do many bad things. My sons are wicked people. She said, what kind of punishment my children will receive when they die? She said, my children will surely go to hell. Yeah. Well, she was very unhappy. She said, I don't know what to do. And then, old man didn't know what to say, so he went to sleep. Okay? He went to sleep with the dry twig under his head. Went to sleep. Soon, the woman's 3 sons came home. They came back to the cave, and they began to make a fire. And then inside the cave became light, And then they saw the old man, the hermit, was sleeping in the corner of the cave. They became angry. They were very, very angry. They flew into a rage. They were very, very angry. They said to the old woman, "Mother, we told you not to allow anybody come into the cave. Why did you do that?" They yelled at their mother. They yelled at their mother, and then the mother said, she said, "Leave him alone." She said, "That man is an old sinner, old criminal, somebody who did something very bad." Okay? Somebody who did something very bad, who is going down to hell. Okay? He is going down to hell because he's a sinner. And so these three boys, the three men, came to the old man, and they said to the old man, they talked to the hermit, and they said, "Hey, old man, wake up." So he got up again, and they asked him, "What did you do?" They said, "What did you do to make God angry with you? Why are you going down to hell?" "Why?" they said. "Why are you going down to hell? What did you do?" And so the old man said the same story. "When I was outside one day, I saw a sinner was being guided to or taken to the gallows. And so I said, it served him right. He got what he deserved. Of course he's going to get punished because he was a bad man. Ha ha ha." Well, he didn't laugh, but, the hermit said, "I judged him. He's a bad man, so it's good that he's going to get hanged. That's why God is angry with me. That's why God is angry with me." The three boys listened to it, and they said, "What? Just one sentence by saying that you are going to hell?" And then they began to think. They began to reflect. They began to think about what they had done so far up until that day. They did lots of bad things. And then they thought, if this man, just by saying something like that, going to hell, where are we going? They became very, very scared. And then they said, "Old man, thank you for telling us this. We will stop. We don't want to be bad people anymore." They said to their mother, "Mother, we will not go and rob people. We will not go and kill people. We will not go and steal. We will find a job and we will work and make money." They said, "We will change our ways. We will repent. We will become good people. We'll try to become good people because we don't want to go to hell," the three young men said. Now, the hermit was very happy. Hermit was happy. He could change the bad three bad young men to become good people. He was very happy that he could changed the three men. He was happy convert. He was very happy to convert them to become good people. Okay? He said, I will go to bed. So he went to bed that night. Okay? He went to bed that night with green leaves under his head. Now, next day, the woman found him dead. Hermit was dead. But when she saw the dry twigs, it was dry until last night, but now it had beautiful green leaves growing up on high. It was growing, it was not growing like this. It was growing up. They were growing up high, and they were growing up high out of dry twig. It was a dry twig, but green leaves were sprouting up high. Okay? And so, this means God decided that he is a good man. This way, thus, God had again received him as his favorite child. And so, this means, because the twig had 3 green leaves, he went up to heaven. Now he's happy, and God is happy. And the three boys, 3 sons are happy, and the mother's happy. The end.